Did you know goldfish have a kind of a magical power? They can actually produce their own alcohol when they're in danger, and they can breathe ethanol instead of oxygen for several months. Pretty handy in winter when everything's frozen solid. I'm telling you this little fun fact because today's topic is alcohol, and not just any kind. Beer. It's the most consumed alcoholic drink in the world, and even the third most consumed beverage on Earth, right after water and tea. All that's great, but imagine facing a real challenge, drinking 7 liters of beer one after another. To test that, of course, we'll call on our favorite test subject, Gustave. Do you like beer, my friend? Good! So, what do you think will happen to our test subject? A little tipsy? Drunk? Totally wasted? Or could he actually pull it off without any harm? Before we dive headfirst into those 7 liters of beer, let me remind you that drinking too much alcohol is dangerous for your health. So, drink responsibly and don't try to copy our test subject's antics at home. Now, it's time to answer our question of the day. Drinking 7 liters of beer, what's it like? Looks like it's time for the first pint. Cheers! For those who aren't used to drinking alcohol, 1 pint equals half a liter, and I'll use these first sips to give you a few details. First, our test subject is a tall, solid guy. His body will absorb alcohol more easily than if he were small and skinny. Second, the beer we're drinking here has 5% alcohol. That's about the same as Heineken. I think everyone knows that one. Now, what do you think is the alcohol content of the strongest beer in the world? You might guess 14 or 15%, but you'd be way off. For years now, some brewers have been trying to make the strongest beer possible, just to earn the title of the world's strongest beer. To reach that goal, they've come up with clever tricks, for example, freezing the beer wort. To put it simply, the wort is beer that's still fermenting, and once it's frozen, the brewers remove the ice. Why? To remove water from the wort so it becomes more concentrated, which increases the alcohol level by the end of the process. So, to answer the question, the strongest beer in the world comes from the Netherlands. It's called Mystery of Beer, and it hits 70%. But anyway, let's get back to our pint. Looks like you were really thirsty. Shall we go again? After 3 pints, you're feeling pretty good, but something's already happening inside your body. Right there in your glass hangs a tiny molecule, ethanol. It's found in all alcoholic drinks, and it's so small that it easily slips into your bloodstream. That's the one responsible for creating chaos in your system. So, what exactly happens in your body when you drink? It's not that complicated. Once in your bloodstream, ethanol makes its way into your brain. Once there, it disrupts the signals your neurons send each other, and the more ethanol you have, the harder it becomes for those messages to get through. On top of that, another molecule comes into play, one your body produces on its own: dopamine. For those who don't remember their biological essence, that's the pleasure molecule. And this little cocktail of ethanol and dopamine produces effects I'm sure you know well, a mix of relaxation and confidence. So, where are we now after 6 pints? Well, it's starting to add up. Besides the increasingly frequent bathroom trips, ethanol keeps playing tricks on your brain. You now have about 2.4 grams of alcohol in your blood. Let's pause a moment to explain how that's measured because it's important to understand what those numbers mean. Roughly speaking, one standard drink adds about 0.2 to 0.25 grams of alcohol to your blood, depending on your size and weight. In our test subject's case, it's closer to 0.2. Since he's a big guy, 1 pint contains 2 standard drinks, so that's 0.4 grams per pint. We're at 6 pints now, so 0.4 times 6 equals 2.4 grams. To put it simply, you're now seriously drunk. Ethanol keeps messing with your brain, making it harder for neurons to communicate. That earlier boost of confidence has now faded away, replaced by new effects: slurred speech, clumsy gestures, slower reflexes, and poor balance. At 2.4 grams, you've hit a limit. Your liver can't process any more alcohol properly. But we have to keep going, for science, of course. Your blood alcohol level keeps climbing, while your liver can no longer keep up. Vomiting was bound to happen. Your liver can't process or eliminate all the alcohol you've thrown at it. It's trying to get rid of the excess another way. Normally, this would be the time to stop drinking. Well, actually, you should have stopped way before getting to this point, but once again, we really need this for science, so we're pushing through. Sorry, Gustave. After 5 liters or 10 pints, you've officially reached acute alcohol poisoning. In other words, you're in an alcoholic coma. You've basically drunk as many liters of beers as the human body has liters of blood. That means your blood alcohol level has passed 3 grams per liter, the point where coma begins. Remember, alcohol absorption depends on things like your size and gender, and our test subject happens to be a strong guy, so he can handle more than most. What's happening inside your body isn't that hard to understand. The ethanol has scrambled your brain's communication so badly that your body can't function anymore. So it shuts down for a while to try to eliminate all the alcohol in your system, though at this point, there is no guarantee it can. So what do? Do we give him the rest anyway? Thank you for your dedication to science. Alright, 6 liters it is. I'm not sure this is a great idea, but here we go. At this level of alcohol in your system, ethanol completely takes over. Your brain hardly controls anything anymore, including your bladder. And since you keep drinking, that liquid has to go somewhere. That's why it's not unusual for people who are extremely drunk to wet themselves. It's even more likely here because you've been drinking so much beer, which means a ton of liquid. You'd probably have peed less if you'd been drinking stronger alcohol instead, simply because you'd have consumed less liquid overall. On the bright side, we're almost at the finish line. Just one more liter to go. Come on, the last 2. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. There it is, challenge complete. You did it. You drank 14 pints, 7 liters of beer. So, how does it feel? Oh, looks like our dear test subject didn't make it. He drank too much, and his body gave out. Surprising, isn't it? But after 7 liters of beer, your blood alcohol level has gone way beyond 5 grams per liter. And past that threshold, the effects are simple. Theoretically, death. Once you hit 5 grams, ethanol scrambles your brain so much that it can no longer control vital functions. You risk cardiac arrest or a respiratory failure at any moment. I say theoretically because humans can be full of surprises. There have actually been cases of people surviving with levels way above 5 grams. For example, in France, the record belongs to a man from Avignon who had 11 grams of alcohol per liter of blood. Doctors estimated he drowned 3 to 4 bottles of hard liquor, like whiskey, in just a few hours to get there. But there is even a wilder case. The world record for blood alcohol is said to belong to a South African man, though it's hard to find solid sources for this one. The story goes that he made his living stealing sheep and was arrested with a blood alcohol level of 16 grams. That's absolutely insane. No one should even be alive with a level that high. Sadly for Gustave, and just for about anyone else who'd try this, the outcome would be fatal. Alright, let's bring him back. I still need him for future experiments. There you go, no hangover for you. Not bad, right? Because yes, when you drink alcohol, your body uses up a lot of water to process it. That's why you wake up the next day completely dehydrated with a massive headache. And if you end up vomiting, it's just your liver's way of avoiding having to process all that alcohol itself. You'll feel hungover until your body rehydrates. So, ready for another round? Didn't think so. You've probably figured out by now that alcohol's effects aren't all that great. In reality, it just puts your brain on standby, and one night of heavy drinking is enough to land you in a coma, or worse. You get the idea. Downing 7 liters of beer isn't exactly the best plan. That doesn't mean you have to quit completely, just find a healthy balance. After all, the reason we drink so much is because, despite the risks, we enjoy how it makes us feel. But it's worth remembering that in the long run, it can also lead to alcoholism. And if you've got any funny stories from your own drinking adventures, feel free to share them in the comments.